Today on Judge Faith, a go-go dancer and her BFF face off with a strip club bouncer they say tried to put herself between them.
As I was dancing, she comes up to the stage and starts like going off. So she got mad. She's like, "You've known me this long and you're just gonna pick her over me."
I was getting played hard and I found out they was messing with guys for money. So I left the whole situation alone. I don't even be at the club no more.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when those Harriet Tubman 20s come out, I don't wanna hear about y'all making it rain in the strip club with those $20 bills. Do not disrespect Mother Tubman like that.
And later, a single dad and a New Jersey car dealer discover they have differing opinions on what constitutes a quality used car.
And I don't know if he's just hard on cars or what, but he tells me this is all the money I got. You know, can you help me out? Help a brother out.
He giving me, you know, raggedy cars for a decent price that's only lasted me a month or two. It broke down on the turnpike.
On the New Jersey Turnpike, you just left it there. So the city owns it now.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Naisha Bryant says the defendant kicked her car in a fit of rage and promised to pay for the damage. She's suing for car damages and related fees. She's accompanied in court today by her best friend, Zakia Poteet. Defendant Kayla Martin says she doesn't owe any money because Naisha was playing her hard and provoked the attack.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bryant versus Martin.
Thank you, Juan. Naisha Bryant,
Ma'am.
you are suing the defendant, Kayla Martin,
Yes, ma'am.
for $1,009 you say she owes you for car damages and related fees.
Yes, ma'am.
And I understand you brought a witness with you today, Zakia Poteet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why don't we start with you, Ms. Bryant? Tell me how you know the defendant and what happened.
I met Kayla back in November of 2015. We were working at a club in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Doing what?
It's a strip club.
Okay.
She was a security guard, and Zakia and I both thought she was a really cool person, so we got to know her.
And what were you doing at the club?
Dancing.
Strippers.
I don't strip. I'm a go-go dancer, ma'am. There's a
Stripper.
difference
Okay.
between
All the
stripping
way
and
to
go-go
Miss Martin.
dancing.
Do you know how this works? When I ask her a question, she's answering it, and you're quiet. Okay? So what are you doing at the club?
A go-go dancer.
Okay, and there's a difference between a go-go dancer and
And a stripper.
Okay, what's the difference?
A stripper makes excessive amounts of money, and they go nude.
Okay.
I don't go nude, because in the state of North Carolina, if a club sells alcohol, you cannot be nude. They will get fined for it.
But you are not a stripper, you are a go-go dancer.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay.
So we became really good friends. My best friend and her end up dating, and problems end up revolving around it.
Okay, but all three of you are friends?
Yes.
And you're all working at the club together?
Yes.
And you're saying that she was also a stripper?
Yes, both of them.
Okay, but you don't make a distinction between strippers and go-go dancers?
They was fully nude.
Okay. How old are you guys?
I'm
You're-
22.
Okay, and you're what, 23?
22.
Okay, go ahead.
So I get a phone call from Zakia asking me about her son. Did I say anything about her toddler son? Of course, I got riled up, and I started arguing with her, like asking her why would she say some stuff like that.
Were you telling your girlfriend, her best friend, things about her when she wasn't around?
No, Zakia was actually crying to me, telling me things what Naisha, that's
Okay.
a stripper named Jersey, was telling her.
And so that's how this relationship started going downhill, because you guys think that the other one is talking behind someone else's back, right?
Yes.
When did the two of you break up?
Around the January time, end of January, February.
Okay, and the three of you have not been friends since the breakup.
Right, because
What
they
was the
played me
reason for
hard.
the breakup?
It's because the whole situation that happened. Like,
the car.
she basically just felt like she needed to protect me because we were together. But I wasn't okay
Protect
with
you
that.
from what?
From, I guess, her saying the things that she was saying.
Okay. Okay.
So she felt like, okay, well, you're my girlfriend, so I feel like I should have a reason to say something.
Okay.
But-
Do you all still work at the club, the same club?
No.
No, I don't.
Do you still work there, the two of you?
Occasionally.
And you don't?
No, I don't work there.
And what happened to your job at the club?
Well, I left because I was getting played hard, and I found out they was messing with guys for money. Well, I was told, rumors, you know. And so I left the whole situation alone. I don't even be at the club no more.
That's not true.
Okay, all right. So now we're here. You're suing. You say she damaged your car.
Yes.
It was over $1,000 worth of damage. How did we get to that point where there's property damage?
I was at work, and Kayla comes up to the club, and as I'm performing my stage set, she comes up there, and she says, I ought to pull you off the stage right now. And I'm just ignoring her.
What is it about? You have to know something's going on.
Because earlier that day, we were texting, and I told her to keep my name out her mouth, and I have all those messages here for you. And
that's all you said?
No,
keep
and
your
I
name?
told her she can go with her dead mother. I'm not gonna lie, I said that.
Coming up on Judge Faith, text messages tell the rest of the story.
You say, kill me then, B, and you say, F your dead mother, now you can pull up. What do you expect to happen?
And later, a dad brings his car dealer to court over a car that clunks out on the New Jersey Turnpike.
I purchased a car from him, and I think it lasted me exactly 31 days or something like that. The car blew up and everything.
You know, I'm asking $19.95 for the car. He's got $800.
Plaintiff Naisha Bryant says Kayla promised to pay for the damage. She's suing for car damages and related fees. Defendant Kayla Martin says she doesn't know because Naisha provoked her by talking poorly about her deceased mother.
You told her she can go be with her dead mother.
Yes.
And so you know why she's at the club then.
That was before, we had squashed it before. We both apologized to each other.
That day?
That day,
So
yes,
she
ma'am.
shows up angry about what? Did she apologize to you that day
No.
for saying that?
No, she didn't. She actually said, F my dead mother. And Jakia was a witness because...
May I see the text messages? When did your mother pass away?
2014.
So that was recent.
Yes.
So she shows up at the club, and what happens?
She's arguing with me, but I'm not paying her any attention. I'm just laughing because I'm at work. So she got mad. She's like, you've known me this long, and you're just gonna pick her over me. She left. She's like, now go outside and check your car.
And did you go outside and check your
No,
car?
I finished, because at the end of the day, I'm at work.
And you're mid-routine. I understand. So did you do anything to her car?
I kicked the car.
Oh, so you admit you kicked her car?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Because she kept pushing buttons by saying stuff about my mother. And that really hurt because I'm still grieving, you know, about my mom passing.
So here are the text messages. You tell her you can kindly go with your mother. She'll love to have you with her. Oh. And then you say, kill me then, B. And you say, F your dead mother too, B. Now you can pull up. What do you expect to happen when you tell someone whose mother recently passed away, F your dead mother?
And I own up to what I did wrong. And I'm an adult, and I admit to what I did.
Well, you're
what I said
suing her
wrong.
for $4,000 for kicking your car. You don't think you bear any responsibility for provoking a fight in this situation?
First of all, I did not provoke a fight.
Yes, you did.
If you look back at the messages before this incident even expired, she called me the B word, told me I'm a molly head, start just going off.
You say your car was damaged. Show me the estimate, proof of your damages. Too much drama going on between you young ladies over nothing, over nonsense. Too much drama. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when those Harriet Tubman 20s come out, I don't want to hear about y'all making it rain in the strip club with those $20 bills. Do not disrespect Mother Tubman like that. You're suing for $828 in damages to your truck. Let me see the photo of the damages. $828 seems like a lot for the dent that I see on your car. But second of all, more importantly, you bear some responsibility in this. You can't pick a fight with someone, provoke someone to the level that you did. And I understand there was some back and forth, but obviously you went there with her, right? You want to talk about her dead mother, and then she pulls up. You told her to pull up, she pulls up, and now you want to sue her? Since I find that you bear some responsibility in what happened, I'm speaking now. You are not. We're not at the strip club. I'm not your mama, and I'm not your sister.
And I never said you was.
Bryant.
And I'm not a stripper.
I didn't say you were a stripper. I said we're not at the strip club. I understand you've made it very clear to me you are a go-go dancer. I get it. But you bear some responsibility in this too. I'm gonna order you to pay the plaintiff $500 and you pay the remainder. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Since you bear responsibility, you're gonna split the costs. Judgment for the plaintiff, $500.
I felt that the judge's ruling was good because at the end of the day, I did tell her she can go with her dead mother, and I did provoke it in a kind of way, and I'm an adult to say that I did, but at the end of the day, you kicked my car.
I feel like the judge's ruling was fair. They split it both ways, and I'm okay with it.
Plaintiff Victor Johnson says the used car he purchased from the defendant broke down weeks after buying it, and he was forced to abandon it on the New Jersey Turnpike. He's suing for a car refund. Defendant Cedric Rouse says he owes nothing because the inexpensive car was in excellent condition, and the problem was that Victor drove it hard.
Victor Johnson?
Yes, Shauna.
You were suing the defendant, Cedric Rouse.
Yes,
for $1,424 for a car refund?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened here, sir?
Well, I met Mr. Rouse maybe a couple years ago, Your Honor. And when I met Mr. Rouse, I saw that he had like a car dealership, so I bought a car from him.
Okay, and how long have you had a dealership, sir?
This particular place, about 5 years.
5 years? You have more than one dealership?
Yes, I've been in business for like 20 years. So.
20 years. And so how many dealerships do you own?
I've owned about 4.
4 dealerships. Okay, go ahead.
So I purchased a car from him, and I think it lasted me exactly 31 days or something like that. The car blew up and everything. I told him about it.
You're not talking about the car in this case.
No, I'm not talking about the car in this case. This is the first time I ever bought a car. So it lasted me about 30 days. It blew up on me.
How much did you pay for that car?
I think it was $1,500, I think.
Okay.
1,600, 15, 16, something like that.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Saturn Vue. So I went back to him maybe like a month later. I told him about it. He said he got something else for me, and he'd give me a good price at it. So I bought another truck from him. Then I gave him about 13, 14, 15, within that range. That lasted me.
1,500?
Yes.
Okay, that truck lasted you how long?
About 4 or 5 months.
You call that lasting?
It's better than the first one.
Because you want a reliable car, right?
Yeah, I want a reliable car.
But at this point, you're taking baby steps to get there?
Yes. So, and then, Your Honor, my money is not all the way right, and, you know, the brother is working with me. The brother was working with me according to the finances that I had. But now, going into the next car that I bought.
Is that the one in this case?
That's the one in this case.
Okay.
So,
when was that?
This was in January, I bought the car. I think I bought it January 12th.
Is there any particular reason why you keep going back to the same dealership?
Because he giving me, you know, raggedy cars for a decent price that's only lasted me a month or 2. So when I go back to get the next car, I purchased it January 12th, Your Honor.
What kind of car was that, sir?
It was a Suzuki 2007.
And how long? And how long did that car last?
Right. Now, it didn't have an as-is sign on it. Mm-hmm. So he told me that it was a one-car owner. I think he said it was 67 or 77,000 miles. He said the car lasted me for a lifetime.
A lifetime?
Yes. Well, not a lifetime.
That's
he said it lasted me for a long
guarantee.
time.
But a long time for you is what, a year?
No. With his cars, maybe, God willing, 6 months.
Coming up on Judge Faith, he's got 99 problems, and the car is number 1.
I was going back and forth to work with it for about a week and a half, and then I noticed it started having a lot of noise. It broke down, so I lost my job.
Plaintiff Victor Johnson says Cedric promised to get him another car, but never did. He's suing for a car refund. Defendant Cedric Rouse says he owes nothing because Victor bought the used car as is.
So how much do you pay for the 2007 Suzuki?
I paid $1,400, Your Honor.
And what happened with that car?
It lasted me 29 or 30 days. He said it's gonna be a good car, one owner. I said, cool. So I was going back and forth to work with it for about a week and a half, and then I noticed it started having a lot of noise. So I called him and told him about it, and he said, well, maybe, you know, that motor may not be too good. I'm like, bro, we doing this again? He like, yo, don't worry about it. No. If it breaks down on you, sell it for $500, bring me another $400, I'm gonna give you something else. I said, this guy is amazing.
Wow.
Did you sell him 3 cars? You sold him 3 cars?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and this has all been within a year?
No,
Okay,
No,
over the course of how long?
Over the course of a couple of years.
He's saying that you're giving him deals because you're trying to work something out because the cars aren't lasting.
No,
you say that's not the case?
The cars go out in perfect order, ready to pass inspection and what have you. And I don't know if he's just hard on cars or what, but I keep trying to help him out because I had a soft spot for him. If I'm asking $2,500.
Why?
Because he's in
sell used cars.
He tells me this is all the money I got. He picks out a nice car. This is all the money I got. You know, can you help me out? Help a brother out. So I want to help him out. You know, I feel bad, and I helped him the first time, and I helped him the second time. This next time he comes and, you know, I'm asking $19.95 for the car. He's got $800.
How much did you sell it to him for?
I sold it to him for $800.
$800,
In the interim, he only had when I counted the money, he only had like $780.
Do you have the paperwork for the sale of this car, sir?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Yes.
Was the car sold to you as is? Because that's what he's saying. He's saying the car was sold as is.
All the cars in the lot, Your Honor, none of them have an as-is sign on it.
What do you have on the car, sir?
I have a buyer's agreement on the car that we put on the window that's used and as is and what we're willing to do. And so,
but you would have that in your contract as well, I'm assuming,
Yes.
right? But the part of the contract that actually says the vehicle is sold as is, that's actually not checked. Why is that?
Because we have to sign there on the bottom of that on that agreement.
No, I mean, because this is why this agreement is set up like this. So if you're making an as-is sale, you have to check that box, but you didn't. You actually X'd out this entire portion as if it's not applicable to this sale.
Because I was thinking that is the as-is box.
It's not. There's one section here. This vehicle is sold as is, and the selling dealer hereby expressly disclaims all warranties. That's an issue for you, because if you want to come in and say that this was an as-is sale, I need to see that box checked on here, and it's not.
I understand what you're
saying.
Okay.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
How much did you pay for the car, sir?
Your Honor, I paid $1,400 for it, Your Honor, and also...
He said you paid $800.
No, he's lying, Your Honor.
Well, you signed this contract, and it says the total is $856.
Also, when I was driving on it, I was telling him that it started knocking, and then on my way to work, it broke down. And I called him, I said, bro, listen, there's something wrong with this car. We need to do something about this car. And then after I told him that, I kept calling him. He just hung up, so I lost my job.
Where's the car now?
It was left on the turnpike. I have the proof right here.
You just left it on the turnpike?
It broke down on the turnpike. It broke down and...
Let me see that proof. On the New Jersey Turnpike. You just left it there. So the city owns it now.
Yes, they was charging me $25 a day for it until I go get it. I just couldn't afford it.
What is the total amount?
It's 25 from 2000, February 12 to right now.
So you have to pay for the vehicle to be disposed of, or else you will be charged $25 a day. And you say, I don't want to take you to court, we're friends. And you say, I'm a used car dealer, I'm not your friend. You didn't say that. A lot of times I have these used car sales, and they're from Craigslist, and you buy the car, it's yours. If it breaks down on you, oh well, because it's as is unless someone makes a specific warranty. But for a dealer, it's different. You have to designate how you're selling this car, and you did not designate that it would be an as-is sale, which means there was some kind of warranty that should have been applied to the car. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to, especially because he's purchased 3 cars from you and they've all broken down in a short period of time, I'm going to order you to refund the plaintiff's purchase price for the car. And according to the contract, is $856. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $856.
The judgment was okay. I mean, I paid a little more for the car, but it's okay. You know, dealing with garbage, so I get garbage. So, you know, things happen.
If he had came back to me, I would have fixed the car for him. I never got that opportunity.
Today on Judge Faith, longtime friends from college find themselves on opposite sides of a story about an unpaid loan.
I was barely getting myself to work and barely keeping food on the table for my family.
I looked down at my phone and it's pictures of the defendant on an airplane going to Vegas.
When you're spending the weekend in Vegas and your daughter's paying for it, someone in the family has money.
And later, a family and their landlord disagree over the definition of acceptable living conditions.
The shower doors fell on my lady in the shower and my kids. He told me he's on vacation up in the snow. He wasn't concerned about that.
He's been extorting me since day one.
I don't know on what planet he would be responsible for that, but he's not.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Kelly Rozelle says she was frustrated when the defendant cut off communication after she asked to be paid back. She's suing for a loan. Defendants Audra Heinzman and Michael Dunn Jr. say they owe nothing because they were in need, and the money was a gift from a longtime friend.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Rozelle versus Heinzman and Dunn Jr.
Thank you, Juan. Kelly Rozelle.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Audra Heinzman and Michael Dunn Jr. for $2,500 money you say they owe you.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me how you know Ms. Heinzman and Mr. Dunn.
I attended high school with Mr. Dunn, but we were reintroduced when they got together. I've been friends with Nikki since college. We were college roommates. I was in her wedding, and I am also the godparent to her children.
All right, so what's going on? Why'd you have to sue her in court?
I never thought it would come to this, but in November of 2014, she and I have been having conversations on the phone just about life, things that happen, good, bad, and indifferent, like we always do.
What city were you in at the time?
At the time, I was in Louisville, Kentucky.
And where were you living, ma'am?
I was in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati, and were the two of you living together at the time?
Yes.
Okay, and she's correct about how long she's known the two of you in her relationship?
Yes.
But now you're dating, right?
Yes.
Okay, why did you smile when I said that?
Because I don't know, I guess because you say dating, that sounds like a kid, but we are together.
Okay, how would you describe your relationship then?
I'm just more involved with each other.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, this particular conversation, she's telling me that she's having some issues paying some bills, rent, and some different things. So she's talking, and you know, you're beating around the bush, and I'm thinking, okay, what's the real issue? So eventually, Mike gets on the phone, and he said, you know, Nikki, she's not gonna ask you. We need your help. Not a problem. I'm there because I'm that kind of friend.
How much did he say they needed?
They needed $2,500.
Had you ever given or loaned money to your friends before?
Yes, so it wasn't a problem to me.
And they paid you back in the past?
We continued our conversation, and we settled on the deal that since it was November, we were going into the holidays, we could wait until after the first of the year and start a repayment plan. We all agreed.
Okay, so what do you say the conversation was?
That I need $2,500 or we're gonna be out on the streets and I need it by XYZ time. And meanwhile, trying to figure out how I was gonna get this money because at the time he had some health issues and I was the only one working.
Did you have a conversation with her at that point about paying her back at all?
Well, I'll pay you back as soon as I get on my feet, as soon as I get in a better position, that I would make sure I get the money back to you. But I'm right now, today, still not in a better position. Our family is still displaced. We are still not doing the best.
And here we are over a year later.
Yes.
And you haven't paid her anything? Because you say you can't afford it?
I can't afford it, no.
They say they're still struggling. Do you not believe that?
The issue I had was earlier on in this issue, I was sitting at work and I got a notification on my phone because my phone is connected to my Facebook account.
Okay.
I looked down at my phone and it's pictures of the defendant and the co-defendant's daughter on an airplane taking selfies going to Vegas. Now imagine my surprise when I see this.
When was that?
When was the Floyd Mayweather fight? It was that weekend.
They went to the fight? Who went to the Floyd Mayweather fight?
My 29-year-old daughter.
We didn't go to the fight.
And who else?
We didn't go to the fight. We did not go to the fight. That wasn't the thing.
It was you and
her.
You went to Vegas?
Yes. His daughter, which I guess my stepdaughter, whatever you want to call it, she did it as a gift to me, as a surprise. I didn't even know I was going to Vegas until a week before.
Okay.
And that's the way I found out. I didn't spend any monies. I didn't buy any tickets. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
It was as a gift to me. Mm-hmm. And she did that for me.
And you don't believe that?
I don't know what the circumstances were that led to the trip itself. I just took it as a slap in the face. Here you stand, you owe me, and you're on a trip.
But you had talked about the money, her paying you back. Had you asked, hey, when can you start?
Like we said, we would start after the first of the year. The 3rd of January, I sent a text with all of my banking information telling her, just make deposits. I can't tell you what's comfortable for you, but just let me know that you're thinking about me. Whatever you can deposit, that's fine.
And what did she say in response to that?
Nothing. It took 30 days for me to hear something back.
And what was their response?
She said, I'm doing the best I can. I got a lot going on.
Well, that sounds reasonable, no?
That was the best we could do right then.
Well, the best you could do was 0.
My friend is very, very stubborn, extremely.
She's stubborn?
Very.
How?
I mean, it's about her money, but I mean, I know her from some other things. When I talked to her, I told her everything that was going on. So it wasn't a secret to her that I still was at a point where I was at 0. I was barely getting myself to work and barely keeping food on the table for my family.
Coming up, the friends disagree over the details of the loan repayment plan.
Just tell me something. I couldn't literally strong-arm her and take the money.
She could pick up the phone and call me as well.
So she has to text and call you?
And later, a family confronts the landlord they claim kept them living in a house of horrors.
I got sewage coming up in the front of the house.
I had told the property manager, have someone go out, see what needs to be done. Mr. Cameron kicked them out of the property and wouldn't allow them to see all the rest of the issues.
Plaintiff Kelly Rozelle says all she wants is for Audra to pay her back. She's suing for a loan. Defendants Audra Heinzman and Michael Dunn Jr. say they owe nothing because the money was a gift.
I understand that you were going through financial difficulty, but here we are a year and a half later. You haven't paid $50, nothing. So how long is too long to wait
That
for
would be
her?
up to her. That would be up to her. But basically,
Well, she's decided that now
she wants
is the
her money
time.
right now, but...
Do you have any of the text messages between the two?
I do.
I don't think she's stubborn. I don't think she's unreasonable. I don't think we'd be here if you had made what appeared to be a good faith effort to pay some of this money back
Well, I
before
was good
today.
faith talking to her, and she knew.
So she sends you the text in January with her account information. Just text me whenever you make a deposit. You don't respond to this for 45 days, so she texts you again and said, I was just gonna see how long you would go without communicating, and then you text her back. And she's just saying, I want you to communicate, because all of a sudden you disappear. You know how when people owe you money, they don't want to be around you, so they just kind of disappear.
But Your Honor, I
stop
hadn't disappeared.
talking
She
to
knew,
you.
just like she was texting me, she could pick up the phone and call me as well.
Well,
And granted,
so
I
she
owe
has
her-
to text
No,
and
no,
call
no,
you
granted, she,
to get a response?
No.
All I wanted her to do was just to communicate with me. Not having the money, we couldn't change that. Just tell me something. I couldn't literally strong-arm her and take the money. We've been friends too long, and we should be able to communicate, but you need to be trying to fix this with me, not the other way around.
Okay, what do you have to say in response to that?
I was just going through a whole lot at that time, Your Honor. Just a whole lot between trying to hold my house together, and she knows me as well as I know her.
You can't sit here and say, like, you don't know where your next meal is going to come from when you're spending the weekend in Vegas and your daughter's paying for it. Someone in the family has money. I think that you have a good friend here, because a lot of friends won't lend people money. I won't lend a friend money unless I have it to give away. That's just the way I am, because money, $2,500, should never come between people who have been friends since high school for 30 years. $2,500, and now you're being sued and you're in court. Where the three of you go from here, that's up to you, but you have to pay back the $2,500. Verdict in this case is for the plaintiff.
I missed your friendship. I hate it had to come to this, and who knows where we'll go from here.
Never get in this situation. Never get in a situation where you need that kind of help.
Plaintiff Kenneth Cameron says he was forced to break his lease early because the house he rented was in terrible condition and the defendant refused to make the necessary repairs. He's suing for a refund of rent, security deposit, and moving expenses. He's accompanied in court today by his girlfriend, Makivia Brown, and the co-plaintiff, Shirley Brown. Defendant Christopher Herbert says he doesn't owe any money because he fixed the problems with the home and Kenneth was a demanding bully who was impossible to please.
Kenneth Cameron
Yes, ma'am.
and Shirley Brown.
Yes.
Okay. And who are you, ma'am?
Makivia Brown.
And what's your relationship to the plaintiff?
That's my fiance.
And that's your mother?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. You are suing the defendant, Christopher Herbert,
Yes, Judge.
for $8,370. You want to be refunded for rent you paid him, a security deposit, and moving expenses?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll start with you, Mr. Cameron. Why don't you tell me what's going on here? So you leased property from the defendant starting when?
In November of the 18th, prior 2 weeks before that.
Of what year, sir?
Of 2015.
And when did you move out of the property?
2016, January 18th.
January 2016. And can you describe this property for me, sir?
It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Elk Grove, California.
And how long had you owned it when they leased it from you in November?
About 14 months.
14 months. And did you have a renter there prior to them moving
Judge.
in? So tell me what happened.
So on the 18th, I moved in, and prior to the 18th, 2 days or 3 days later, all of a sudden I have a sewer problem. I got sewage coming up in the front of the house. I got people calling me, telling me to take tissue and wipe it and put it in a garbage bag.
People calling you? What
yes,
people?
His attendants from that works for him.
The people who work for him, you mean like a property manager?
Yes, ma'am. Called me and told me to put the tissue in a bag. They're not worried about the feces coming up. They worried about me putting tissue in a bag and putting it in the garbage.
Tell me, when was the first time you notified Mr. Herbert that there was a problem with plumbing?
On the 20th. The 21st.
2 days after you moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you tell me what happened. Let's talk about the first 2 weeks he was there.
Apparently someone had flushed something down the toilet that caused it to need to be snaked and to be dealt with. So I paid the rush fee, the emergency fee, paid the extra to have someone come out immediately. This was all happened and done through the property manager, so they sent someone out right away before even notifying me because it was an emergency. Then after 2 weeks, Mr. Cameron asked for $5,000 to fix things that he claimed were wrong with the property.
He asked you for $5,000?
Correct, to
for
fix
what?
it.
He was going to fix it himself.
He wanted to fix stuff. He said he was a licensed contractor and asked for money to fix small issues around the house.
Okay.
So being reasonable, I said, okay, I had told the property manager, have someone go out, check it out, see what needs to be done. Mr. Cameron kicked them out of the property and wouldn't allow them to see all the rest of the issues.
And when was that?
That was about 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks after he moved in.
I told him that if he give me $2,000, I will fix the stuff myself so I can stay here. I did not never mention $5,000, and that $2,000 was for buying the material.
Okay, and did you get that from the property manager, this $5,000?
That was the number he quoted me that Mr. Cameron was asking for.
Okay, and where's the property manager? Is he here today?
No, he's not.
Does he still work for you?
No, he does not.
Why?
He quit, ma'am.
What was the issue with the property manager?
He was just a weird, interesting person. I mean,
Okay.
it just didn't, it didn't work out. You know, I perceived a lot of the issues that were going on with the property were because of him, but in all honesty, it seems like it was more the issue with the plaintiff than the property manager.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was Kenneth a demanding tenant or was Christopher an absentee landlord?
He told me he's on vacation up in the snow. He wasn't concerned about that.
Plaintiffs Kenneth Cameron and Shirley Brown say they were forced to break their lease because their rental home was in horrible condition. They're suing for a refund of rent, security deposit, and moving expenses. Defendant Christopher Herbert says he owes nothing because he did his best to make his former tenants happy.
And what do you say his issue was with the property manager?
Well, his issue with the property management because the property management didn't have licensed people doing work in the house. You don't take liquid nail and glue a toilet down. That's what this contractor company did. He took liquid nail and screwed and put the shower doors on. This man didn't even come to the house to see. And then on top of that, the shower doors fell on my lady in the shower and my kids. He told me he's on vacation up in the snow. He wasn't concerned about that.
Did you have a written lease, by the way?
Yes, ma'am, right here.
May I see it? How much did he give you for security deposit?
$15.25.
How much of the security deposit did you keep?
I would have to look through my notes.
He kept all of it. He sent me $1,100.
He said he returned a portion of it.
He sent $1,100 back.
He sent you $1,100
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
security deposit back, so
Yes.
he didn't keep all of it.
No, he didn't keep all of it.
He kept $425
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
security deposit. Okay, let me look at these photos.
See, that's a photo of the master bathroom. See, the floor was broke.
When was this taken?
The 18th
Of what?
of December.
But it's not date stamped. Let's go to the next photo.
Yeah, that's when the shower door fell on her foot.
And what are you showing me here?
That's the nail coming off her foot, that lifted up off
What
her foot.
happened, ma'am?
When I got in the shower door was kind of wrinkly. And I closed the shower door, taking a shower, and then all of a sudden the shower door just fell on my foot. So there's a shower door there. We had to leave it in the tub because you couldn't put it back on.
Okay, what's the next photo? What is this
That's
photo?
the illegal plug. The plug is not even in the wall, just sitting up there. And that's the cabinet beside the kitchen, where he said that he was clean when I moved in.
This just seems kind of ridiculous. You take a picture at the worst possible time, you pull out a fridge, you pull out a stove, try to find stuff to take photos of, and he's been extorting me since day one.
Why are you suing for $4,600 for new house expenses? What is that about?
The new house expenses was for me to move from his house with a U-Haul and people to move my stuff out of his house into the new house.
And you paid over $4,000 for
I paid
that.
$2,400 to move in. I paid almost $600 for the U-Haul. I paid them guys $500 or $600.
$2,400 to move in, that's your rent for the new place?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no, he's not paying that.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Ma'am, do you have something you want to say before I rule on this case?
Well, I was living there, and I call him my son-in-law, and he took care of all the business.
Well, did you see that the plumbing was fixed at some point?
I'm not sure about the master bathroom, but they did get that feces out the yard, but we had people supposed to come for Thanksgiving dinner, and we had to move the dinner somewhere else.
Okay, and you're not sure if the other bathroom was working or not?
Well, I don't know when it got fixed, but I had to take a bath in the master bathroom. Like you say, that door was in that tub, and nobody could use it.
Okay, thank you. I think that you're a contractor and you wanted to do this work yourself. You wanted him to pay you to do this work, and based on all the photos you submitted of all the issues, some of them really minor with the house, I don't think he could do anything to satisfy you. Clearly he was inconvenienced. They couldn't spend Thanksgiving in their home. What's that worth? That's the question. You're asking for $4,688 in new house expenses. Everything that you paid to move into a new house, rent, security deposit. I don't know on what planet he would be responsible for that, but he's not. I'm not ordering him to pay that. You're also asking for the remainder of your security deposit. He kept $389. In fairness, I'm going to order him to return $200 of that security deposit to you. You're also asking for rent. I'm going to order him to return half of 1 month's rent to you for the inconvenience that I believe the plumbing issue caused for the days that you were inconvenienced. Half of 1 month's rent is $762. You came up with this inflated lawsuit over $8,000. It's not going to happen because it's not fair. What's fair is he pays you $962, judgment in this case for the plaintiff.
Was affecting my life because the simple reason is, first of all, I didn't have a holiday. He's skiing. I'm at home. My 2 kids can't have Thanksgiving dinner. They couldn't have Christmas.
The bathroom is broken for 24 hours. I had someone go out at 2 a.m. in the morning to fix it. There's not much as a landlord that you can do other than send people out and resolve the issue when something unforeseen happens.
Today on Judge Faith, a terrifying car crash on the streets of San Francisco ends in a dispute between drivers.
Windows come down, people start screaming. We have no idea what happened. It could have been a terrorist attack for all we know.
I wasn't drag racing, I was just driving my car carefully.
I hope you wouldn't be driving around doing something as irresponsible and stupid as drag racing on the streets of San Francisco.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Petra Oster-Milchner says the defendant was drag racing and lost control, causing him to crash into her parked car. She's suing for a totaled vehicle. Defendant Carnell Hickman Butler says the accident wasn't his fault and he owes nothing because a pothole caused him to lose control of his car.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Oster-Milchner versus Hickman Butler.
Thank you, Juan. Petra Oster-Milchner?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Carnell Hickman Butler.
Yes, Your Honor.
For $10,000, you say he owes you for totaling your vehicle in an accident?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you understand the statutory maximum in my courtroom is $5,000?
Yes, I've been
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? I understand that this was a pretty serious accident that happened with your car. What day did this take place?
Yes, on December 6th, I was downtown San Francisco with a friend inside a wine bar. And we're sitting there chatting away, and suddenly a huge crash occurs right behind our backs. I turn around, and the whole windows are shattered of the bar we're sitting in. I look outside, and I see my car that I just bought 6 months ago in pieces. I could not believe what just happened.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Honda Civic.
What year?
I just bought it from a coworker. It was a 2008 with only 80,000 miles. So I bought it for $10,000 cash down.
So you're sitting in the wine bar and you hear this crash and the windows in the wine bar, the glass actually shattered?
Windows come down, people start screaming. We have no idea what happened. It could have been a terrorist attack for all we know. So I run outside, I immediately start filming. I have photos right here if I may show you.
Yes, one.
The heaviness of the accident. There were a total of 3 cars involved.
Thank you.
And I start running outside.
Wow, which one of these is your car?
The Honda Civic right here is my car.
Okay.
This is the defendant's car, and this is a Toyota SUV that was also parked right behind my car.
Okay.
Both cars were completely totaled, and I was actually standing in that spot right before, 5 minutes before it happened, talking on the phone. I could have died that night. Both cars were smashed in, business windows came down, and no drivers to be seen anywhere.
So when you came outside, he was not in the car?
No, I approached the crime scene, immediately filming, and there was nobody on the scene.
Okay, you can walk back over, please, thank you. And what time of night was this?
This happened at 9:30 p.m.
9:30, okay.
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, sir, she hasn't even...
You gotta let her talk.
How do you even know what she's talking about?
Lack of evidence.
How do you even know what she's talking about yet? You're already objecting? I can't wait to hear your side of this, trust me.
Okay, Your Honor.
You will have plenty of time to speak on this today, okay?
Okay.
But I want to hear her version, and then I'm coming directly to you to hear your side of how this all happened, okay?
Okay.
And I understand you also submitted video from the scene?
Yes, there's a video that I immediately filmed when
Let me take a look
it
at that.
occurred. I'm so shaken right now. Are you okay? Where is she? Right there. So you can see there are no drivers. I approached the crime scene and I'm wondering where are the people involved in this accident.
So what happened? How did you end up finding the defendant?
Well, I interviewed some witnesses, and as you can see on this police report right here, there are statements that apparently there was a drag race.
No. I will look at the police report. I understand you submitted that in evidence, but I want to know from your own eyes and ears that night how you were able to make the connection to the defendant.
So after the accident occurred and I received the police report, I looked the defendant up on Facebook.
So that night, you never saw him at the scene of the accident?
No.
And how long were you there at the scene?
I was at the scene for about an hour and a half dealing with everything.
And you never saw him at the scene of the accident that night?
This is actually the first time I just made eye contact with him.
Okay, and so how do you know this is the right person standing in front of me today?
A funny thing happened that moment. As the accident happened, people started, of course, circling around the crime scene, and
well, it's an accident scene. It's not a criminal case.
Okay.
Okay.
As the accident scene starts building up with an audience around it, suddenly I see a stranger working himself through the crowd, approaching the trunk. At that point, I'm looking at the scenario thinking it's some homeless guy trying to steal something take an opportunity from the situation. So I start screaming like, hey, and I get the crowd involved. People start noticing, and guys in the crowd start wrestling defendant down.
I'm trying to understand this because you told me earlier that today is the first time you're laying eyes on him.
I saw him for the first time that night, but I first made eye contact with him today.
Okay, that's the distinction you're making. You're making eye contact with him today.
Yes. I saw him that evening.
But you did see him that night at the scene.
Of course.
Okay, so I have one question for you.
Yes.
How long were you at the scene before you say the defendant appears?
10 minutes.
Okay, Mr. Butler.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your car in the photo, in the video?
Yes, that is my car.
That is your car, and it was involved in an accident that night?
Yes, it was.
And were you
involved.
driving that car, sir?
Yes, I was driving that car.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, so there was no drag racing whatsoever, any form or fashion.
Okay.
So my tire...
Put your papers down.
My tire was slowly leaking air, and this was prior to the whole situation, before anything transpired. I just got off of work and noticed my tire was leaking air. So I took it to the shop to get the tire changed.
What time did you take the car to the shop?
Between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. So in the midst of doing that, I talked to the people in the shop, and they tell me that my tire has a security lug nut on it from the manufacturer of the car company, Acura. So that special lug nut corresponds to the year and model of that car. So,
okay, and so you weren't able to get the part you needed that day to make the repair. So what, you go directly home and park the car?
I went to the gas station to put air in my tire because they wouldn't allow me to change my tire.
Okay.
So after I went to the gas station, I just figured if I drive carefully, that nothing will happen to my car. I pretty much could just keep putting air in my tire and everything will be okay.
So what happened at 9:30 that night?
Coming up, the excuses about the cause of the accident escalate.
I'm just trying to get to your defense as to why you're not responsible for this accident.
I didn't know I was gonna hit this pothole.
Who's responsible, the city?
Plaintiff Petra Oster-Milchner says Cardnell is at fault for the accident that destroyed her car. She's suing for a totaled vehicle. Defendant Cardell Hickman Butler says he owes nothing because the accident wasn't his fault.
Sir, tell me how the accident happened.
Okay. I'm driving up the street and it just got done raining heavily. And as I'm about to approach the stoplight...
How fast were you driving?
Between 30 and 35 miles per hour.
Okay.
Yeah. And as I approached the stoplight, I was about to stop, but my car hit a pothole before I could stop, before I even hit the brake.
So you were slowing down to stop?
Yeah, before I stopped at a complete stop.
So you were going even slower than 30 to 35 miles per hour?
Yeah, a little bit slower.
And you hit a pothole?
As I approached the pothole, I was going 30 to 35. So once I hit the pothole, my back tire popped, and the car started to hydroplane.
Okay.
And as soon as the car hydroplaned, I just had a sudden reflex, and it made me turn the wheel the wrong way due to panic and fear. So by me turning the wheel the wrong way, it went in the direction of the parked cars instead of turning it or just letting the wheel turn itself.
Okay, and so that happens, and then what do you do after you hit the cars? What do you do?
Well, after I hit the car, I sit in the car for a second because my mind is just in a daze. I'm seeing stars.
What do you do when you get out of the car?
As soon as I get out the car, I sat down on the curb between some cars across the street. And I just sat there and I was bleeding for a while, just sitting there.
Were you injured?
Yes,
How?
I was injured. My head was injured, and my arm and my leg was injured.
So this is a one-car accident. Your car hits parked cars, right?
Yeah.
No other driving cars. Your car hits parked cars.
Right.
They're total. Do you have insurance on your car?
Yes, I do have insurance on the car.
No, not do. Did you, the night of this accident back in December,
yes,
you were
did.
insured?
I had insurance due to my understanding of insurance, but
Well, no, it's not your understanding of insurance. Right. Did you have insurance or not?
Yes, I did.
You either had it or you did not.
I did, but they said I didn't.
Who was they? The insurance company?
Yeah, because they merged over and changed it.
Okay, so you say you did. You understand it matters what they say, right? They're the insurance company?
Right.
You did not have insurance.
Right.
So you're driving a car that you know has an issue. You found out at 4:15 that afternoon. You just told me 4:15 that afternoon you were at the shop. There's an issue with the car. But in your mind, you decide, I'm going to drive slowly, right, around the city, although it's raining. As you said, heavily. You've decided to drive around slowly for the rest of the night because in your mind, hey, the car has an issue, but as long as I drive around slowly while it's heavily raining, I should be good.
Well, Your Honor, I didn't know I was going to hit this pothole.
Say this.
I didn't know I was going to hit this pothole.
May I see that? What?
I had no idea,
Sir,
that this was in the street. No one.
Is this your evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
A photo of a pothole. I don't know where this is, what street this is on. I don't know what city this is in. You could have gotten this off of Google for all I know. Is this your best evidence of a pothole that you hit that night?
That's the pothole that I hit, Your Honor.
I'm just trying to get to your defense as to why you're not responsible for this accident. You're telling me because of the pothole, who's responsible, the city?
Yes, and the manufacturing company.
Did you take this up with the city?
Yes, I did. I filed the claim right here, but
let me see that. How's that working out for you?
No one haven't got back to me yet because of some issues with my correspondence. I think I need to send it priority mail or it's...
Well, sir, no one's gotten back to you yet because you just filed this claim 3 days ago.
Right.
This accident happened back in December. So you just filed this claim with the city after you knew you were coming to court on this case.
Right.
You filed this claim with the city in anticipation of litigation. Manufactured evidence is trash.
Right.
Because if you really thought the city was responsible, you would have filed this back in December, not 6 months later.
I had to get some legal advice from my lawyer. I wasn't aware that I could file a claim. So I just got word 3 days before the court, before any type of planning to go to court about this.
No, you've been defending this case since it happened back in December.
No, I haven't. I haven't been
Yes,
defending.
you have. You knew that she was holding you responsible for the damages to her car back in December.
I didn't know. I never received no paperwork.
And then you come into court to tell me that this is your proof that the city is responsible, that you filed a claim with them 3 days ago.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the defendant's drag racing denial is called into question.
You have an excuse for the accident that you hit this pothole going 30 miles an hour and that's what caused that kind of damage and carnage. I don't buy it for a second.
Plaintiff Petra Oster-Milchner says Carnell was driving recklessly and crashed into her parked car. She's suing for a totaled vehicle. Defendant Carnell Hickman Butler says the accident wasn't his fault and that the city of San Francisco should pay for the damage.
You know, let's back up for a second. I want to hear the allegation. What is the allegation of drag racing that he so passionately defends before I ever even get to talk about it? What is the drag racing allegation?
2 cars were chasing each other on a one-way street.
Did you see this?
I interviewed people. I did not see it. But I have a police
You interviewed other
report.
people. That's hearsay, but I want to hear, I'm just curious, what did they say?
Yes,
because the pothole story doesn't make any sense, just so you know.
And may I just point out that in the video, there's no wet streets to be seen.
Well, according to the police report, it had rained earlier that day, but it wasn't raining at the time of the accident.
Correct, Your
But
Honor.
you interviewed people at the scene, and they told you what?
I interviewed a guy and he said, yeah, I just saw 2 cars chasing each other going up the street on a one-way super fast, and suddenly one guy spins out of control, hits the other, and they start getting out of the car and running. That was the story.
And did you get a statement from this, a written statement from this witness?
Yes, I filmed one of the witnesses. Unfortunately, I had erased that statement, but the police interviewed the same person afterwards as in the report.
Were you drag racing?
No, I was not drag racing.
Were you riding with a friend that night?
No, I was by myself. I have no...
Was there another friend? Was there another car?
No, there was no
that
cars.
you know of, a person with you on the street that night?
No, I was the only car going up the street at that time that crashed.
How old are you?
26.
Do you have children?
Yep,
How many children do you have?
got 2,
How old are they?
4, and 3.
Because I would hope that someone in your position that's taking on the responsibility of being a father to 2 young kids, I hope you wouldn't be driving around doing something as irresponsible and stupid as drag racing on the streets of San Francisco. Why are you looking down? Look at me.
It was raining. I wasn't drag racing. I was just driving my car carefully.
Yeah, you driving a car carefully that you shouldn't have been driving because you're not insured. And you have an excuse for that too. You have an excuse as to why you were driving your car knowing that there was an issue with your tire. You have an excuse for that. You have an excuse for driving with no insurance. You have an excuse for the accident that you hit this pothole going 30 miles an hour, and that's what caused that kind of damage and carnage on the sidewalk in the street that night. I don't buy it. And then you come in here with this paper that you filed 3 days ago against the city of San Francisco. You're not gonna sue the city and get any money from the city, just so you know.
I understand that the defendant has a family and has to take care of things, so I offered to negotiate in a letter to him, and I didn't hear back from him. I was willing to work around things, but having to deal with the damages and then being even reprimanded by the body shop owner who's telling me that I now owe him $1,500 for parking a damaged car at his lot, everything just, it was intense. I had saved up for this quite a long time. I put $10,000 down because this was a purchase going towards my design business, and I needed a car to visit clients.
And your insurance didn't cover?
No, that's the fact that I received no money. In one night, I lost $10,000.
Why?
I wish I had just gone to Vegas with it.
Why didn't your insurance cover the car?
I felt really tricked by my insurance because they would have covered me for bodily injury if I would have been in the car, but since the car was parked, I didn't receive anything.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. There are 2 issues. There's the issue of liability and there's the issue of damages. You have stood before me this entire case and you have admitted to nothing. You've made no concessions whatsoever despite the damage you've caused, not only to yourself and your selfish actions that night, driving around in those conditions with no insurance, but also to the other people involved. So on the issue of liability, I find that you are responsible. On the issue of damages, I find you're responsible for more than the statutory maximum that this court allows. I can only award you $5,000. You should be getting more, but that's the statutory maximum. As a parent of 2 young children, how are you making these kind of irresponsible decisions at this point in your life? You've decided to bring 2 lives in this world that you're taking care of, and you have to show them the way? How are you gonna do that? If you don't start making better choices for yourself. It's not that easy.
I did
because you're not doing
I had
it.
to do.
$5,000 judgment for the plaintiff.
Having money taken from you in one night through such a quick instance with someone irresponsible to have a car and not have insurance, I just don't understand.
The plaintiff really feel like I put her at a loss, which I really didn't. It was just an unfortunate event. What can I say?